Imagine a TV series where the fate of humanity hinges on a bunch of scientists playing the most intense game of Simon Says with an alien civilization. In Three Body Problem, it's not just about who has the best poker face, but who can outsmart the cosmic conundrum that makes Rubik's Cubes look like child's play.
So how's it going, man? It's been like months.
It's just been busy, I've been doing a lot of websites and stuff, trying to convince people to come out and see my film.
I don't think it takes convincing, just
show them the film.
Yeah, just show them the film.
Oh. Three Body Problem?
I actually saw this and I was gonna watch it like way before it started trending like crazy. Because I was like, so we would have recorded this before the trend, and now we're like way down. Like it's
way down. We're way down the trend.
It's like instead of being the number one viewed on Netflix, it's like probably
right. 30th. Oh yeah. I have to say.
So if anybody still cares, we're going to talk about Three Body Problem. Okay. It's actually a series on Netflix, and 2000 actually came out this year. And I saw another one called Three Body, and it's a Chinese series from last year.
Yeah, but I saw the other one come out, and I was curious if that was the one that you had intended, and then I found this, and I was like, oh, this has got to be the one.
Yeah, actually, I'm curious about the other one though, except for it's all subtitled apparently. So.
Did you see the whole thing?
I actually only got through halfway through episode 5.
I got through the whole thing. I just couldn't even stop. I have to tell you.
Oh, actually, I think we're giving it away. I really, really enjoyed it, and I just ran out of time.
No, it is a, if it was a book, you'd call it a page turner, right?
Actually, it was a book, apparently. I didn't know this. It was? Yeah, this is a book adaptation, apparently, so I didn't know.
Whoever did it wanted to just twist he wanted to take all those science fiction ideas, and here's the thing. He has so many great ideas, science fiction ideas, and there's something about it that kind of there is a judgment on everything that's happening as to whether this is a good thing or a bad thing, right?
Can I mention H.G. Wells, Isaac Asimov, old school sci-fi guys?
Absolutely.
That's what this reminds me of.
Heinlein, it's. I'll tell you, the thing that's great about it is it really has an old world feel. And then the thing is they kept grabbing all these amazing ideas and then going a couple of rounds with them, until you go, wow, was that good? Was that bad? Was that good? Was that bad?
And they didn't overdo anything either.
No, they really didn't. They really didn't. And I have to say, when it was done, I was like, I want more. I want more.
So they only have one season, and you got through the whole thing, right?
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah. I fell asleep. I was like not really in the mood to watch the fifth one, but I was interested in what I kept. It's one of those situations where I was binge watching kind of. So I tried to stay awake, and it didn't work. But no, this has everything I love about sci-fi. It has good storytelling, good characters. The character development is good, which is all about sci-fi, right? It's what it's all about.
Great acting, great. The funny thing is it seems like pretty often science fiction has this way of towing into a certain number of conclusions and a certain number of factors, right?
Yeah.
And the problem with it is it's a little bit too comfortable, and it's way not like anything actually happens.
Right, yeah.
What they did in this is they actually took, all of the ideas and just kept going with them.
Well, that's one thing. See, that's why I like Steven Spielberg, because it's like they tell a story, but along with that, they follow the characters closely, and you learn about the character development, and you care about the characters, so you buy into the characters, and then you want to know what happens, and then the story's good, so you get into the whole thing.
And also, it also reminds me of some of Asimov's longer things where the hard edge of reality, there's a hard edge of science, and then there's the complete backlash of society.
Yes.
And the crash of society.
Huh. That sounds like something that's happening in real life. Real science crashing with people that don't believe in science. Huh.
Oh man, it really is. And there's some inventions that they kind of create as writers and so forth that they extrapolated so well. You're just like, oh, wow. So the good person over here, it makes this wonderful invention, and then it gets used for these horrible things, and so they're called in, and that's the kind of early Heinlein angle that now the Asimov always had the great ideas, and Heinlein always had the great ideas, but then society's going to come in and screw them up this way, right? And it's just so cool.
Well, I'm only through episode 5, and at that point you're kind of like, I don't know who's really good and who's really bad.
Yeah.
and then the whole religion aspect where they're kind of blindly following something that they've never even. It's just suddenly they're following this thing.
There's a certain aspect of it that the thing is there's so many things that ring true as society gets worse and worse. As certain elements of society gets worse and worse with these things that happen that should have been really cool, and you're like, oh, but wait. The thing is you want to start explaining things. You do it to the TV and you go, well, wait a minute, no, that's okay, because it's the next thing you're going is, am I evil?
Right, yeah. Well, also, I really like I just thought it was really pretty overall. The editing was great. The way they put it together. The acting was pretty good. I like I like that guy that I've seen him a lot of times. Benedict Dwan. He's like the guy that played the detective.
Right.
I think he's kind of the glue that keeps it together in a way.
He's great because he's so he's like an impassive rock moving around, right?
But he's kind of working both sides a little bit.
Yeah, and he always is working both sides as things go. And the thing is the thing that's really weird is that you have to have 2 or 3 intersections with the other side before you realize, oh, yeah, this part of it is about one side versus the other all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. What happened to the science fiction truth that was running through here? And you go, well, you know what? I got hit by a train, and it was called, scientific truth.
Right. And then you have the guy talking to the speaker box.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You haven't gotten to a part that's amazing with the speaker box, because that speaker box all of a sudden becomes the most important thing in the world. You don't know it, and you don't know it until like 20 seconds after you saw what you saw, and then you go, oh.
So it's a lot like your upcoming movie Solitude?
It is a lot like my upcoming movie Solitude. Except for without the money. Without any money.
Yeah, right, well, who needs money?
It's just like that. Although we wrote everything on cardboard, and then we used that to build the sets with.
Well, that's good. I mean, why not? Work with what you have is what I always say.
Just saying, right?
Yeah, so if you like existential drama and sci-fi and old school sci-fi, I would say you'll really like this one. But if you don't like that, you'll hate it.
It is, yeah. It's,
if you're expecting Star Wars, This is no Rebel Moon.
No, you know what? Yeah. You know,
Which
it's funny is Star Trek continues on the line of being quote unquote hard fiction, with kind of the hint of the society of its place in society can all be wrapped up in a half an hour.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's different than Star Trek. See, that's what's different about Star Trek and Star Wars.
Well, Star Wars is a fairy tale.
This is more like in a way, it's more like Star Wars because Star Trek.
Star Trek. No,
because Star Trek has the moral kind of compass that.
Oh yeah.
You have to follow.
Absolutely, as long as you can wind it up in 42 minutes.
Yeah, or in a 30-minute episode.
Yeah, right. This you have the advantage. The thing is all the things that went wrong are still going wrong, and there's more episodes that haven't been made yet.
This reminds me a little bit of Q. Speaking of Star Trek, Q coming in and screwing with everybody.
Oh yeah, exactly.
But this has more time. Like, we have 400 years. Okay.
That's the great thing about it. It's all based on 400 years. And you're going, well, the next time I see these people, I'm thinking that when I see them again, we're going to have to be at least halfway through that. Just saying. I don't think, I have a feeling that we're going to move on from this particular group and we're going to see what it looks like in 200 years.
Right. What do you think? They'll have flying cars? That's the first thing you'll see. It's like, oh, okay, here we are.
That Justin sound.
200 years. We haven't been able to do it since the Model T, but I don't know.
Yeah. I'm rating this at a 4.5. It was totally enjoyable.
I'm right there with you, except for the one character that kind of bothers me is the whiny one, the pretty girl, the nanofiber girl. I can't remember her name, but it's kind of like she's kind of like spending a lot of time like
she's a little too. You know what? She's a little too pretty, and a little. She doesn't come off as being as educated as she has to be who she is.
Yes.
Right?
Well, all characters are pretty in their own way. I mean, even the detective guy, he has his own little charm.
I'm old enough that I don't have to say that.
Well, I said it uncomfortably. See, I'm Generation X, so that was uncomfortable for me.
You did say that very uncomfortably. And you know what? I was sitting there going, listen.
No, but he has his own charm. Like, he's very charming, and that's why he works both sides, and that's why he's one of my favorite characters, because he can charm both sides and like kind of work all the angles, and nobody really knows what's happening yet. But he could be bad. Who knows?
Yeah.
He kind of is in a way.
It is such a great ride. It really is.
And I think I've connected more with the Asian girl. I don't know all the names of the characters, but
right.
She's kind of the main character for at least the first 5 episodes for sure.
It's and it keeps sliding from kind of one to the other as it goes. And by the way, it does have a little bit of it has just a hint of science fiction royalty in there. Because think of Deep Space Nine.
Yes, Deep Space Nine. Okay, I haven't seen that show for a long time.
The Scotties. Is it Scotty? It's his wife was the Asian woman that was up on that stage.
Oh. Okay.
And you're gonna see more of her.
Yeah, well, definitely, yeah. I mean, there's no question that we'll see more of her.
Yeah. It's. I have to say that I have not been this delighted in a science fiction series in years.
Well, I saw I didn't know anything about the book, that it was an adaptation, but I just saw, like, you know how it kind of shows a preview of it. But like, before I even clicked on it, I was like, that looks interesting. So I was like, well, I'll mention that. So I looked it up, and I knew it was sci-fi, obviously. I read the description.
Yeah.
But I was like, we have to try this one. And then I looked for it, and I'm like, wait a minute. What's going on with the
There's another one.
3-body? What's that? But I was reading about somebody's mentioned online that the 3-body one, because I was trying to figure out what country it was from, and I think it's Chinese. Right. But they said it's all subtitled and it's kind of hard to read. So I'm like, well, Mick will love that.
Yeah. You know what? There's enough stuff out there that I don't have to read too much stuff.
So I'll take that movie and I'll dub over it with my own agenda. Like, hey, look at this. You got to see this scene right here, and you won't know what's happening, but I'll let you know what's happening. But no, I think it's a good one. Everybody who likes sci-fi should watch this, I think.
Yes, absolutely. You know.
Oh, I give it the same. I think I'm right with you. 4.5.
Yeah.
I mean, like almost a 5.
No, it's amazing. It really is so well done. I just can't wait for it to come back around.